Hey, good morning. All right, if you follow this comment back, you're going to be showed to a very good video of a young woman talking about the whole um, illegal deportation, migrants, all of that the left is currently freaking out about because the media is telling them to freak out about it. They're chasing ICE agents down the streets and creating web pages, doxing their families, their wives, their children's schools, home addresses, all of that. You have the media who is making sure to follow ICE agents around to try to get the most heart wrenching stories to keep you guys upset. And the bottom line is this: people come into this country, they come into this country the legal way. And people like myself, who is a Republican, former Democrat, fully 100% support that. I support legal migration into this country. You don't get to have a visa and stay when your visa is up simply because you want to. You want a better life, don't have time to go. It doesn't work that way, just like it doesn't work in any other country. Every country in this world has rules about migration and immigrating into that country. You don't get to stay past your visa time, and you don't just get to stay because you simply just want to. And you definitely don't get to commit crimes in that country and expect to stay here too, right? But yet, because of bad leadership, that is what happened in our country. We watched the last 4 years where Joe Biden, who was not mentally well, allowed over 10 million people from all over the world into this country unvetted. No health checks, no background checks, no idea where they came from. And now we're seeing attacks on our National Guard. We're seeing very troubling videos coming out of certain cities in our country from people that were not meant to be in this country, right? We've allowed, because of bad policy, people that we don't know that probably hate our country into our country unvetted. So let's get into this. You want to come into this country like you go to any other country. You come through the port of entry, okay? You then pay for classes. You pay to take the classes. You go to the classes. You learn about our history. You learn our language. You learn all of that. And then you take your oath to become a citizen of this country, right? That's how this works. Then you become a citizen, you work, you pay taxes, all of that. People want to talk about this whole due process. If you are not an American citizen, you aren't welcome to due process in this country. You can't finagle the words of the Constitution to fit your narrative to make it seem like that isn't so, because it is so. Due process isn't a thing if you're not a member of this country legally. When Obama was president, they deported so many people without due process. They used to call him the deporter in chief. There were lawsuits that were leveled against the Obama administration because of how many deportations that man did. And not one of you said a word. There were no media talking about it. There were no media following around ICE agents and threatening their lives to get people like you guys very upset. You guys talk about this is such a bad country and women are oppressed and people of color are oppressed and black people are oppressed and everyone's oppressed and this country is terrible and they take opportunities away from everybody. But yet everyone should be able to come here and stay here simply because they want to. It doesn't work that way, just like it doesn't work in any other country. You stay past your welcome in another country, you get put in jail. That's how that works. But yet, because of media and because of people allowing this into our country, now this administration is tasked with the job of getting them out. And it doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. It doesn't matter if someone's been here for 30 years unchecked. They are not a legal citizen of this country. They do not belong here. Now, look, you can look at some of these situations and be like, well, they were here for 30 years. They haven't broken any laws. When you stay past your welcome, you are indeed breaking a law that this country set up about immigrating into it, right? If you don't like how long it takes, if it was easy, everyone would come here. You know, the country that you guys seem to hate so much, right? That everyone should be able to stay if they want to. It's weird how that works. You hate it, but everyone should stay. Anyway, the same rules apply in any other country, okay? So this administration is now tasked with getting and finding these people and getting them out. And the ICE agents, that is their job to go out and find these people and get them out. And the media is going to try to focus on every little story. I remember one that they said this grandfather was deported, and the media ran this picture of this woman holding her mother, a little gray-haired woman, and the gray-haired woman's holding a picture of her husband that was deported. And oh my God, it was so sad. And buried deep in the article was the fact that he was a convicted rapist. Yeah, But of course, no one reads past that. They just look at the headline of poor little grandfather was deported, and oh my God, Donald Trump's an evil man. It's deceptive media, it's deceptive reporting, and it's deceptive to get people like you to be very upset about the situation and call him a horrible person and he hates people of color, which isn't the truth. We had bad leadership in this country that allowed people into this country that don't belong here, people that don't like our country, people that would like to cause our country harm. And because of that, this man is now tasked with getting them out. And we listened to Democrats say that the reason the border wasn't closed because Donald Trump ruined the comprehensive border bill. Remember that when you guys were like, it's Donald Trump's fault, the border's not closed. Literally gets elected in a weekend. We are down to 0 people coming into this country in a weekend. At what point do you realize that these people in the media and the Democrat politicians are purposely lying to you to keep you upset, to keep you manufactured upset over this administration? And I don't know what it's going to take to make you guys understand that. We have laws about immigration in this country, and just because you want to stay here doesn't mean you get to. It's just like it is in any other country in the world. If you don't like the rules about immigrating into this country, then you run for a Senate seat or Congress and you change those rules, right? It is meant to be a privilege to live in this country. It is not meant to be easy. The road to pathway to citizenship, like this young woman who came here legally. It's a slap in the face to every one of these people like her who came to this country and did it the right way. And not only did they get to this country, plane flights were driven all over the country. They were given 5-star hotels, food, EBT cards, benefits. And it's kind of funny because they're like, illegal people don't receive benefits. But when the benefits were cut, how dare you take their benefits away? So which is it? Do they not get benefits? Do they get benefits? It's like, it's a consistent of moving the goalposts with the left, and it never ceases to amaze me. We are a nation built of laws, and we have laws about immigrating into this country. You don't get to just come here and stay here. If your visa is over, you have to go back home. That's how this works. And it doesn't matter if it's sad. It doesn't matter if you've dropped off kids here. It doesn't matter. You knew the risk when you walked into another country, bringing your children, knowing full well that you weren't a legal citizen of this country. And you would have absolutely be sent back, whether you have children here or not. That's how this works. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. And the media is going to make it sound like they're poking up citizens and they're going after them because of the color of their skin. It's not true. They're doing it to keep you upset, to keep you triggered over the fact that deportations are happening in this country like they've been happening. How do you think they got out of this country when Obama deported all those people that they called him the deporter in chief? They had ICE raids, just like they do now. The difference is there's no media following it around to make sure that you see it every single day on your phone that you guys are chronically online about. So of course, if you see this every single day, you think they're just yoking up people left and right for no reason. And all you have to do is go to the department, the ICE's website, and they will show you every single person that has been deported. And underneath it, you can see their rap sheets and where they were deported to, where their original country was and where they were sent back to. And you can see the crimes that they committed. And yes, I'm sorry. Staying past your visa or coming into this country without permission is indeed a crime. And you will be sent back home. And it doesn't matter if you have 20 children, 10 children, 1 children. You knew the risk when you came into this country and you stayed. Now listen, I'm all for legal migration into this country. You do it the right way, just like this person did. And many more before her that are still waiting after doing it the right way for their citizenship. It is a privilege to live in this country. It is a privilege to be an American. And unfortunately, because of bad leadership, we now have to clean up the mess that the former administration has let in. And up until the point where Donald Trump has taken power into the White House, we have had 0 illegal migrations into this country after 4 years of millions of coming in. So that's the rules. That's the rules. And we are no different than any other country. So anything else from that is just rage baiting you by the media to keep you upset. Good talk.